Chirakhole. Kota Nitra Jaya Maya Chirakhole. Baji popole aeshe sangsara vitare. Baji popole aeshe sangsara vitare. Avichara bore. Bulia rohile to me. Avichara bore. Tomare loite ame, hoinu avatara. Ame pina banduara, ke ache tomara. Anechio shate maya nashe parolage. Hare Nama Maha Mantra Lavo to me Mahage. Hare Nama Maha Mantra Bhakate Vinoda Prabhu Charane Padiya. Say Hare Nama Mantra Loilo Magiya. Jif Jago Gora Chanda Bale. Kota Nitra Jaya Maya Chirakhole. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Oh Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Giri Baradari. Oh, Joy Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Giri Varadari. Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanuchari. Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanuchari. Joy Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Giri Varadari. Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana Jamuna Tira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Gokula Nanda Radha Gokula Nanda Radhe. Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe. Jaya Radha Shama Sundar Radha Shama Sundar Radhe. Haribo, 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 Nitago, Haribo. Nitago, Haribo, 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 Nitago, Haribo. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Pariragavacharya Tatadasisi Madhavai Charan Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Anantakoti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai Namacharya Siddhari Dāsa Kota Ki Jai Prem se kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Pavanityananda Shri Radha Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shyamakund Radha Kund Giri Govardhana Ki Jai Shri Vrindavan Dharma Ki Jai Nitai Go Premanandi, all glorious assembled devotees, all glories to the lotus feet of Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Jai Jai Shri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Shri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Okay, give you that. Jaya Jaya Shri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Today we're reading from text 108, so an auspicious number, to to the next purport. It's quite a while. I've got something a bit wrong with my throat, so if Govinda, you could read the verses, just the English only.
English only.
English only, yeah.
King Prataparudra said, "Hold this festival in such a gorgeous way that upon seeing it, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will be completely pleased and astonished. Take as many printed cloths, small bells, umbrellas, and chamaras as there are in my storehouse and in the deity's storehouse. Collect all kinds of small and large flags and ringing bells, then decorate the carrier and have various musical dancing parties accompany it. In this way, decorate the carrier attractively. You should also double the quantity of prasadam. Make so much that it will even surpass the Ratha Yatra festival. Arrange the festival in such a way that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu may freely go with his devotees to visit the deity without difficulty. In the morning, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took his personal associates with him to see Lord Jagannath at Sundarachala.
You read the purport? No, there's a bigger purport.
Okay. Purport: Sundarachala is the Gundicha temple. The temple of Jagannath at Jagannath Puri is called Nilachala, and the temple at Gundicha is called Sundarachala. Then Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his personal devotees returned to Nilachala with great eagerness to see the Hera Panchami festival. Kashi Mishra received Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with great respect, and taking the Lord and his associates to a very nice place, he had them seated. After taking his seat, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to hear about a particular mellow of devotional service. Therefore, mildly smiling, he began to question Swarup Damodar. Although Lord Jagannath enjoys his pastimes at Dwarka Dham and naturally manifests sublime liberality there, still once a year he becomes unlimitedly eager to see Vrindavan. Pointing out the neighbouring gardens, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, "All these gardens exactly resemble Vrindavan. Therefore Lord Jagannath is very eager to see them again." Externally, he gives the excuse that he wants to participate in the Ratha Yatra festival, but actually he wants to leave Jagannath Puri to go to Sundarachala, the Gundicha temple, a replica of Vrindavan. The Lord enjoys his pastimes day and night in various flower gardens there, but why does he not take Lakshmi Devi, the goddess of fortune, with him? Swarup Damodar replied, "My dear Lord, please hear the reason for this. Lakshmi Devi, the goddess of fortune, cannot be admitted to the pastimes of Vrindavan. In the pastimes of Vrindavan, the only assistants are the gopis, but for the gopis, no one can attract the mind of Krishna." The Lord said, using the car festival as an excuse, Krishna goes there with Subhadra and Baladev. All the pastimes with the gopis that take place in those gardens are very confidential ecstasies of Lord Krishna. No one knows them. Since there is no fault at all in Krishna's pastimes, why does the goddess of fortune become angry? Swarup Damodar replied, "It is the nature of a girl afflicted by love to become immediately angry upon finding any neglect on the part of her lover." While Swarup Damodar and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu were talking, the procession of the goddess of fortune came by. She was riding upon a golden palanquin, carried by 4 men and bedecked with a variety of jewels. The palanquin was also surrounded by people carrying umbrellas, chamara whisks and flags, and it was preceded by musicians and dancing girls. The maidservants were carrying water pitchers, chamara whisks, and boxes for betel nuts. There were hundreds of maidservants, all attractively dressed and wearing valuable necklaces. In an angry mood, the goddess of fortune arrived at the main gate of the temple, accompanied by many members of her family, all of whom exhibited uncommon opulence. When the procession arrived, the maidservants of the goddess of fortune began to arrest all the principal servants of Lord Jagannath. The maidservants bound the servants of Jagannath, handcuffed them, and made them fall down at the lotus feet of the goddess of fortune. Indeed, they were arrested just like thieves who have their riches taken away. Is this the main one?
Yeah, read the purport, please.
Okay. When Lord Jagannath starts his car...
Purport by His Divine Grace.
Purport by His Divine Grace. Srila Prabhupada Ki. When Lord Jagannath starts his car festival, he gives assurance to the goddess of fortune that he will return the next day. When he does not return, the goddess of fortune, after waiting 2 or 3 days, begins to feel that her husband has neglected her. She naturally becomes quite angry. Gorgeously decorating herself and her associates, she comes out of the temple and stands before the main gate. All the principal servants of Lord Jagannath are then arrested by her maidservants, brought before her and forced to fall down at her lotus feet.
Bhandiyaniya pade Lakshmi re chadane, chore jhena dhanda kari loya nana dhane. Om jnanati mirandasya jnananjana shalakaya chaksusun militam yena tasmai Sri Gurave namaha. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shiva Sari Gaura Bhaktavrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Hare. So hands up, who's is their first Caitanya-Caritāmṛta class? You won, that's very good. So we have been reading Srimad Bhagavatam all week, and then here at the weekend we read a much more different type of literature. In one sense, the Caitanya-Caritāmṛta. And here in this pastime, we experience, we can observe something much more variegated and extraordinary in what appears to be a human conduct of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and his wife, the Goddess of Fortune. So what is going on here, and what is this variegatedness of pastimes that are displayed? So it is to be understood that Krishna, as described in the Vedanta Sutra, the absolute truth is raso vaisa. He's rasa itself. The absolute truth is rasa itself, or he is the reservoir of all rasa. Rasa means mellows or taste. Raso pyaso raso vajam. So we are in this material world, and as living beings, we are constantly attracted to different tastes of experience. Everyone here is interested in certain subject matters, and they try to enjoy through their mind different subject matters. Now we have the internet. It's like the whole universe is just there in your phone, and you can watch whatever you're interested in, be it sport, politics, soap operas, or such forth. Unlimited subject matter. So we're part and parcel of that absolute truth. Absolute truth includes us. It includes the Supreme Person, his creation, both material and spiritual creation, and it includes us, the living entities. So we, like Krishna, we are full of rasa. We are full of desire for tastes and enjoyments and the mellows from those enjoyments. Srila Prabhupada describes in the introduction to Nectar Devotion that a man works very hard for his family, generally, to experience some taste, the mellows of family pleasure, enjoyment. Prabhupada once said that, why does a man have children? He has children because he wants to enjoy. The relationship of parents and childhood is one of the rasas. So Raso Vaisa, Krishna is also a person, and he is also enjoying variegated pastimes. This is very important to understand. Because when you receive Vaishnava education or education in transcendental subject matter, the knowledge that you're not the body, that everything is one in consciousness, that matter is one, consciousness is one, there is an absolute truth that runs through the whole creation, Brahmeti, Paramatmeti, Bhagavan, and it is described as Brahman, the impersonal effect of Krishna's personality, which is that all-pervading consciousness, and as the Paramatma, the supreme controller, Ishvara, Yantarudani Mayaya, he is directing the wanderings of all living entities and controlling the whole universe. But then beyond this, he's Bhagavan, and he's Akila Rasamrita Murti. Akila Rasamrita Murti means that he is the reservoir of all pleasures in relationship with all living beings. So here in the material world, we are constantly frustrated and disappointed trying to enjoy like Krishna. This is our biggest problem. Bhayam duti biniveshita shat ishari patasya viparyo smriti, that our smriti, our memory has totally been erased. We've completely forgotten who we are, and we are trying to be the enjoyer of this material world. But in this relationship of the enjoyer of the material world, we become constantly disappointed, frustrated, And even when it goes right, it doesn't go right for very long. And even if it goes really good, we still got to grow old. And the miseries of old age become more and more apparent as your body gets older. So much misery is there, klesh, kleshagni, shubhada. But when we come to Krishna consciousness, samsara dava nadalita, this fire of material suffering becomes dissipated by the words of the spiritual master, the pure devotee. Those words, we forgot to read the translation of Jeev Jago, but in that song there's some reference to this, that the words of the spiritual master, the transcendental sound of the Maha Mantra, they begin to wash this fire or put out this fire that I'm the enjoyer and I must enjoy and I'm always suffering. Samsara dhava nadalita. We're in a forest fire, and the words of the spiritual master wake us up, Jeev Jago, from this ignorance. Because we'll always, life after life, suffer our miseries. Even in the heavenly planets, although they're enjoying for so long, still they have to leave that place and come back down. Padantiyada, they fall down and suffer so many miseries. So when we become educated and we accept that Krishna is the supreme enjoyer, Bhaktaram Yagyatapasam Savaloka Maheshwara, he owns everything and he's providing the karma field of activities for every single living in. Yastvindra Gopam Atavo Atahendra Karma Bando Noti. What is it? Anantu. Anyway, forgotten. Kamani nidahati kintucha bhakti bhajan. So one engages in bhajan, one engages in bhakti yoga, then his karma, both pious and impious karma, becomes reduced gradually and in proportionate to your realization, to your surrender. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is willing and ready to wipe out that karmic debt and give us the new identity, the new transcendental identity, that I am a servant of Krishna. And he is the supreme enjoyer. Bhaktaram. So what is Krishna's enjoyment? Can you say that Krishna's enjoyment is like ours? That he's just a big sense enjoyer? That, we like sabji and rice and pakoda, chutney, and Krishna's liking this? Jai Shri Radha Kukulana. So, Krishna, actually, he doesn't enjoy sense enjoyment like us. He's not interested in sense enjoyment. Sense enjoyment is based upon lust, contact of the senses with the sense objects. So Krishna is not enjoying like that. He doesn't enjoy matter, actually. We offer him so much matter. We take the milk, you can see it, taste it, touch it. And we offer it to Krishna. But he's taking the bhakti, the devotion, in the offering. He doesn't exactly enjoy matter. The matter is transformed by the attitude of spiritual transcendental attitude of the faithful devotee who offers with love and devotion. Bhaktyam patram pushpam palam toyam. So indirectly, Krishna is enjoying this material world through his devotees. But directly, in the spiritual world, that which is known and the knower are the same substance. Here there's a difference between the knower and the known. Therefore we have to manifest so much effort to enjoy, to manipulate this energy which is known. But in the spiritual realm, the objects, places, the water, the land, the trees, the personalities, everything is of one energy, one spiritual energy. Therefore, we see when the goddess of fortune comes here, she's manifesting this anger. This anger is not a material thing, that the anger, the unhappiness, the tears, the feelings of separation of the associates, eternal devotees, are not the same as these emotions of the material world. They're completely transcendental and spiritual. Therefore, so much emphasis is given to understand what is Krishna, how he is the creator of billions of universes, how he is so omnipotent and so powerful, so that when we hear that his wife, the Lakshmi, goddess of fortune, is angry with him, then we can understand this is an ordinary anger. It may appear so, but we have to try to dig deep into our consciousness to try to understand what are these exchanges of love between Krishna and his devotees. So this whole pastime is situated in Jagannath Puri. Now, as Gaudiya Vaishnavas, we are interested in 3 holy places only: Jagannath Puri, Mayapur, and Sri Vrindavan Dham. And in each holy place there's a different mood, different rasa. So in Mayapur, Harinam Sankirtan is the main activity, and the mood of Audarya, or compassion, liberalness, freedom of loving exchange, means that Lord Chaitanya is freely giving love to everyone, love of Krishna with Nityananda. And in Vrindavan, the rasa is one of pastimes. That Krishna, he displays all his pastimes, and in Vrindavan he is complete, Purnam. But if you study Sri Caitanya-Caritāmṛta, you see that he enjoys in 3 places: Dwarka, Mathura, and Sri Vrindavan. So in this instance, in these 3 places, Jagannath Puri becomes like Dwarka. So Krishna, when he's young, he stays in Vrindavan. Then after some years, he leaves. He's there with all his associates, his childhood friends, his family, people he loves the most. He's fully free. He's a cowherd boy. He plays the flute. He has no worries. His father is looking after the kingdom, so he just wanders around the forests having fun on his daily pastimes in the 12 forests of Vrindavan. Sometimes he's playing with the cowherd boys. Sometimes he's meeting with his beloved gopi girlfriends. Sometimes he's bathing in Yamuna. And he's having unlimited wonders and pastimes with all his associates. But in his earthly Leela, he leaves. And you see this chapter in the Bhagavatam, that Akrura comes and takes Krishna away. So this is the beginning of the devastation of separation experienced by the residents of Vrindavan. So this Puri, Jagannath Puri, is where this separation is manifest, this Vipralamba mood is manifest by the Supreme Personality of Krishna when he comes as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He goes to Jagannath Puri, and in the last chapter he's just exhibited his relationship with Jagannath, that Jagannath's Krishna and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is also Krishna, but he's taken the mood of Srimati Radharani and he's saying to Jagannath, "Why did you leave Vrindavan? Please come back. Your mother, your father, all your friends, we're all missing you terribly." So when Krishna moves to Mathura, Mathura is very close to Vrindavan, so the separation is there. But when he moves to Dwarka, the separation becomes unbearable. Practically, the residents of Vrindavan, they leave their bodies. And Krishna, he lives in Dwarka and he's missing Vrindavan. He's missing Vrindavan. He's missing Vrindavan so much that he has a replica garden of Vrindavan built on the side of the city. And then he goes there sometimes and there's cows and lakes and lotus flowers and he remembers Vrindavan. So even Krishna feels this separation. So how can the Supreme Controller of billions of universes, how is it that he is suffering? So it's not suffering, it's a feeling of love. And the feeling of love is the greatest feeling. When you love someone, you'll do anything, you'll suffer for them. Sometimes you'll die for them. You know, like parents would die for their children if it came to it. You see it manifest in the material world. Because the love is so strong. So in the spiritual world, the love is so powerful and so strong that it overrides everything. And when they have apparent emotions of distress and separation and tears, then actually they're experiencing the highest ecstasy. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teachings are that we should practice Krishna consciousness in the mood of separation, in the mood of aspiration. And as far as the goddess of fortune goes, so that we can imagine here, this is like a very unique pastime to Jagannath Puri. The Rath Yatra goes down the road, it stays for 7 days, I think, then it comes back. And on the 5th day, or some day, the goddess of fortune, who's in the Puri temple, she comes with all her associates, she's very angry. She says, "Where's my husband? Why is he in Vrindavan? Come back home." But Krishna himself, as it says here, once a year, he feels so much separation from Vrindavan that the Rath Yatra festival happens and he gets to go to the replica of Vrindavan in Jagannath Puri, which is Sundarachala Gundicha Marg. And he stays there for some time. There's beautiful gardens and forests and all sorts. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has revealed all these secrets, this confidential mood of Jagannath Puri by his pastimes. So our business is to hear these pastimes and practice our Krishna consciousness accordingly with the right feelings. Prabhupada said we should have feelings, develop these feelings of Krishna consciousness. So Lakshmi, she's also attracted to Vrindavan and Krishna, and she does austerities to try to enter into Vrindavan. Because Krishna is so attractive, is she at fault because her husband is Lord Narayan? No, because Krishna and Lord Narayan are the same. Siddhantastvas tvavedepi Srisha Krishna Surupaya Rasanot Krishyate Krishna Rupam Esa Rasa Stita. That if you understand Lord Narayan and Krishna are the same person, but if you study Krishna's form, qualities, pastimes, etc., then you'll see raso. There's a higher experience of mellows in the form and pastimes of Krishna. And we can see in this material world, remember the material world is a reflection of reality. So you see love in the teenagers when they fall in love, 16, 17, 18, the love is very, very intense. It's very intense. They go home, they stay with their parents still because they're young. And all they do is think and they phone and they text. I mean, they didn't text. I mean, in my day we used to have to phone our girlfriends on the phone, you know. And you couldn't do that because the phone was in the kitchen with your mother and your father. So you had to wait till they go out, then you can phone your girlfriend. And you talk to her and this and that. So the love is very, very intense. So similarly, the love of Vrindavan, Krishna's not married. He's an adolescent, teenager, Kishore, and he's enjoying this intense, unwedded love, Parakya Bhav, Parakya Ras, and this is to be understood. Siddhantas Tvavedepi. So, Raso Pyasyo Raso Vajam, Namas Chintamani Krishnas Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha. So the name, Krishna's name, is full of rasa also. Purno Shuddha Nitya Mukta. It's full of rasa. So by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, then one can connect with this original rasa. Shamameva param rupam puri madhu puri vara jayam keshorakam jayam adyeva raso para. That the Arajo Bhagavam Brajeshas Tadhama Brindavanam. That Krishna in his original form, he's just a young boy, 15, 16-year-old boy. He's Shama Sundar. And the supreme abode is Sri Vrindavan Dham. The supreme age is Krishna's teenage age, and the original rasa is this unwedded, loving Madhurya ras exhibited in Radha Krishna pastimes, along with all their gopi friends and cowherd boys, in the unbelievable place of Sri Vrindavan Dham. So this is these pastimes. The goddess of fortune is chastising her husband's servants, and this anger is there. So Krishna is the enjoyer of being rejected by his girlfriends, being chastised by his girlfriends, and even his friends sometimes chastise him. So he's the Supreme Personality of Godhead, so he enjoys this chastisement. Whereas in Vaikuntha, as Lord Narayan, no one would even dare chastise him. He's the Supreme Absolute Personality, full of all opulences. So he cannot enjoy this rasa. This is the purport, this is the conclusion of which I'm speaking. I'll stop now, it's 8:30. Apparently class goes on till 8:45 on Saturday, so we have plenty of time for questions and discussion by the assembled devotees. Thank you very much. And I may have missed some points in all these verses. So, Namas Chintamani.
Harishnavu, thank you for the wonderful class. I was just thinking about this pastime of Rukmini Devi. You know, in the pastime when Krishna is speaking to Rukmini Devi, they're saying that you should have not married me because I'm not a prince, I'm not a king, I don't have a kingdom. You know, there's still time if you want to make up your mind. And because he wanted to enjoy the rasa that Rukmini Devi gets angry with him or gets separated from him. But she was so gentle and so, you can say, innocent that she just thinking of separation from Krishna, she just falls down. And then Krishna comes with his four-armed form and picks her up. So Dwarka Dham is this very sweet, innocent, you can say, rasa of never getting angry with the Lord. Like the Supreme Personality does everything, but the devotees will still, with awe and reverence, you know, worship him. So when you mentioned this, how do we kind of connect this rasa when here Lakshmi ji is actually getting angry and all the servants are getting arrested?
Yes, actually I was asking different devotees about this pastime and trying to find out, and we were speculating about different things, because actually in Dwarka, one of Krishna's queens, especially Satyabhama, she does become angry with him and chastise him. She's considered an expansion of Radharani. So just the same as when Krishna has gopis who are very passive and submissive and never get angry with him and hide their feelings within and always speak nicely. So he gets a little bored with these girls sometimes. He likes to go to the more fiery ones who will tell him off and chastise him like that. So there's varieties of heroines in Krishna's pastimes. Because if you see, Krishna has, the Vedas say there has millions of girlfriends in Vrindavan. Chintamani, Prakara Sadmasu Kalpa Briksha Lakcha Britesu Sudabhira Vipalayan. Lakshmi Sahasra, hundreds and tens and, what is Sahasra? Tens of millions, what does it say? Thousand.
Hundred as well.
Yeah, hundreds of thousands. He has hundreds of thousands. And out of them, in Ujjvala Nilamani, Rupa Goswami says 360 different types of heroine. So what it means is 360 types of feminine natures. And Krishna is enjoying each one because they're all unique and they give him a variety of tastes. So in Dwarka, he has 16,108 wives. And each wife is different, unique, extraordinary. So Rukmini is very passive, submissive. You can come and take darshan, please, come. Follow him, he knows what to do. Hare Krishna. So, Krishna is the supreme enjoyer, try to understand. So, we can say this is a unique Leela to Puri, but it may represent Satyabhama or one of the queens in the Dwaka Leela, we don't know. You need to ask someone who knows these things. Madhavananda Prabhu is an expert on Jagannath Puri and the different Leelas. So like that, it may be some unique pastime. What I mean to say is it may represent some unique pastime in Dwaka that I don't know. Prabhu? Hare Krishna.
Thank you for the class. My question is about Goddess Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune. If that's a eternal position, because I know she's doing austerities to join the rasa dance, but does somebody become the goddess of fortune, or is there only a unique personality who remains the goddess of fortune?
Ananda Chinmaya Rasa Pratipavithabi Tabiya ya eva nijataya kalabi. So we are Jiva Shakti, marginal. You can look at me when I'm talking to you. Yeah. You ask a question, then look at the floor. It's not very inspiring for the speaker. So we're Jiva Shakti. But the expansions of the goddesses of fortune, they are Swarup Shakti, so they're all eternal. She's eternally the goddess of fortune. Any other point about that? She doesn't succeed in her ambition to go to Vrindavan because she's eternally Lakshmi, so she cannot give up that identity, even though she wants to go, but she doesn't want to give up her identity, so she cannot enter into Vrindavan pastimes.
There's also there's a verse in the Caitanya-Caritāmṛta where it says that Lakshmi enjoys vicariously through Radharani because she's an expansion of Radharani. So although she doesn't get to engage in all the Vrindavan pastimes, still through Radharani there's something coming through.
Vicariously. Adi Devi, what's that verse? Radharani, Adi Devi. She's the original goddess of fortune.
Devi Krishnamayi.
Devi
Radha.
Krishnamayi Radha, yes. So she's the original goddess of fortune, and she is the root. The queens of Dwaka are her expansion, the gopis are her expansion, the Lakshmis are expansions. Sarva Lakshmi Mai, she's the root of all Lakshmis. So she's the original Swarup Shakti. She's the origin of all expansions of the Swarup. So they don't change, they never change their position. They can go anywhere, appear anywhere, expand in any universe, material or spiritual, but they are eternal in their identities. It's we, the jiva, marginal potency that has become bewildered by Maya, and we're suffering like dogs, life after life. But in the spiritual realm, there is no suffering, and the Swarup Shakti, they engage in pastimes like anger and all these things, but it's all ecstasy, it's all bliss. Because it is all in relation to Krishna's pleasure, Krishna's happiness. In the spiritual world, nobody cares about their own happiness. They don't even think about their own happiness for one moment. They are all engaged in the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, in whichever feature of the spiritual realm they exist, whether in Vaikuntha, Ayodhya, Dwarka, Mathura, Sri Vrindavan, like that. He was first, then you're next, and then you're next, and Tarun. We got time for everyone. I'll answer very short now.
In that regard of Lakshmi, that means it's kind of strange that it's very contradictory. She wants to experience, but then she doesn't want to give up. So you can say that actually she doesn't want so badly. Or where that desire coming from? That means that if she cannot change Sarupa, that at some point she will be able, because desire is there.
No, it's a lila. It's her lila, because even Lord Narayan is attracted to Krishna. What's that verse? Maya Bala Suridva. I won't remember it. But Krishna's form is so attractive that even Lord Narayan is attracted, because Krishna's expansion, Radharani's expansion, they all have individuality. So it's like a contradiction, but it's just where the desire came by hearing and seeing Krishna's pastimes. But it's just a bhav in her heart.
Hare Krishna. I wondered how can we make sense of serving Krishna in a separation mode, yeah, and the idea that we are all striving to get closer to Krishna, attached to Krishna. How does that work?
Yeah, that's a nice question. Actually, the separation increases the attachment,
Right.
because ultimately we're not with Krishna, we're in the material world. It's a horrible place. So we can think like that. I'm here in this material world, and Krishna, Ainanda Tanuja Kinkaram, I'm suffering the ocean of birth and death. Please lift me up and place me as one of the atoms at your lotus feet. This is the prayer of the devotee. So this separation, if we feel separation, then that will increase our attachment. That's the way spiritual life works. Oh, it's a normal life. If the husband is away from home, the wife, if your best friend is away, you miss them. You miss them. When they come back, after a couple of days, they start to annoy you again, right? But when you're away from them, you feel all their good qualities. It's like when someone dies, suddenly everyone says nice things about them. When they lived, everyone was criticizing them. But when they die, everyone sees only their good qualities. So by separation, emotions intensify, they change. So we're separated from Krishna. How sad. So we should feel like that. And this will increase our attachment. The more we think of Krishna, the better. Prabhu, you're next.
Hare Krishna, thank you for your class, Prabhu. I just wanted to ask about the different types of separation, Vipralambha, and how specifically Mahaprabhu exhibited, and how that kind of categorizes what he exhibited in Jagannath Puri.
Okay, there's 3 or 4 types of separation described in the Shastra. One is when Krishna is away for a short period of time. He goes to herd the cows, and everyone in the village is feeling separation till he returns in the evening, like his parents and the elders. This is separation after a short period of time. Then there's separation after a long period, where he goes to Mathura, Dwarka. So this is the long period, this is the one that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is really absorbed in. And there's a third type called Prema Vaichicha, where you're with Krishna, but you're so... Haribol Veda. Yes, Haribol Che. Welcome. These old devotees, old coolies, Ki Jai. Where you're separated, that Krishna is right with the devotee, but the devotee is so apprehensive that Krishna will be separated from them again, that they start to feel that separation, even though Krishna is still with them. That's called Prema Vaichicha. One time Radha and Krishna were together, and they had the impression that, Radharani had the impression that Krishna had gone even though he was sitting. So she was so blind with tears and emotion and feelings of separation that she couldn't see him. She thought he'd gone. And then when Krishna saw her separation, he also went into the same mood, and they cried tears and tears and tears, and filled a lake. And that lake's called Prema Sarovara. So these are the three types of separation. And what's the fourth one? Purvarag. Oh, Purvarag. Now this is a very important one, and one we can relate to the last question. Purvarag means, I haven't met Krishna yet, but I'm going to meet him one day. So, because in the spiritual world there's no time, then the devotees can experience this Purvarag, even though they've been with Krishna for eternity. They feel, I'm going to meet Krishna for the first time. So in the material world, when you do something for the first time, it's really wonderful, it's really fantastic. But after you do it again and again, it becomes a bit boring. So, in the spiritual world, this is not the case. You can always have this previous excitement, anticipation that I'm going to meet Krishna. When will I meet him? I feel like I'm going to meet him for the first time. So it's called Purvarag. Thank you very much, scholar. 4 types of separation. Thank you for your question. Now, last question. Wait, relax, yeah.
Thank you so much for your class. I just want to go back to the question about if a Jiva Tattva can become a goddess of fortune.
No, I didn't say that.
Because Prabhu was asking that, I believe.
No, he asked, can the goddess of fortune change her position? Is she eternally the goddess of fortune, like that?
It's what, he said that. Like if a Jiva Tattva can become the goddess of fortune. No, but we have the example that the gopis are also called goddess of fortune. Mm-hmm. And we also know that not all the gopis come from the spiritual world, like the sages of Ramachandra, for example.
Yes. I understand the question. No, but even once you return to the spiritual world, the Jiva Shakti, let's say, goes back to the spiritual world, he's always a Jiva. He never becomes Swarup Shakti, but he becomes so empowered by this Swarup Shakti, it's as if he is. But he never actually categorically in Tattva, he's always a Jiva. So in this world we are influenced by a Maya Shakti, and we think we're real, we think this is real, we think this body's real, we think this world's real, we take it all for granted that it's real, but it's not. But in the spiritual world we are, we come under the shelter of the Swarup Shakti, and then we act perfectly. But we don't change our Shakti, Tattva.
They are like the goddess of fortune, they act like the goddess of fortune, but they're still Jiva Tattvas.
Still, when in the 11th canto, Krishna tells Uddhava, there's no one more dear to me than my devotee. Even Balaram, goddess of fortune, there's no one more dear to me than my devotee. Why is that? Because Krishna knows that the Jiva, he struggled so much to go back to Godhead, Krishna has a special affection for him. Whereas for his Swarup Shakti, they never fall down, they don't have to struggle, they're always perfect. So there's a special affection for his devotees. But they don't change their Tattva. They just become influenced by the perfect energy, and then they're same, but not same. Okay? Jai. Shri Caitanya-Caritāmṛta ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
goes here. This goes on here. This goes up. This goes. Yeah.